Transforming your life with hypnotherapy just got easier with your host, Julie from CoachingHypnosis.net.
Welcome back, dear listener, to Coaching Hypnosis. I'm your host, Julie. Yesterday, we set the stage for our 30-day performance transformation. Today, we're going to look under the hood to truly master the mental game. You have to understand what's actually happening in your brain when you enter a hypnotic state. We are grounding today's episode in a foundational piece of literature. Michael R. Nash's 2002 paper, Hypnosis, the Brain and Sports, Salient Findings, published in the International Journal of Clinical and Experimental Hypnosis. For a long time, there was a disconnect between the art of hypnosis and the science of the brain. Nash's research was instrumental in closing that gap. He highlighted that hypnosis isn't just a state of relaxation, it is a sophisticated reconfiguration of how the brain processes information. Nash breaks down 3 key areas that are absolute game changers for athletes. 1. Neuroimaging of hypnotic states. Modern imaging has shown us that when an individual enters a deep state of hypnosis, there are specific measurable changes in brain activity, particularly in areas associated with focused attention and the regulation of sensory input. This isn't just feeling focused, it is a neurological shift that allows you to filter out distractions and dial in on a singular objective. 2. The motor imagery advantage. This is perhaps the most exciting part for anyone training for a physical skill. Nash explores the brain activation differences between actual motor actions and imagined motor actions. When you are in a state of hypnosis, the brain activity during your mental rehearsal becomes strikingly similar to the activity during your physical practice. When you are in a state of hypnosis, the brain activity during your mental rehearsal becomes strikingly similar to the activity during your physical practice. In short, you are literally strengthening your neural pathways for movement while sitting perfectly still. 3. Consciousness as a research tool. Nash frames hypnosis as a way to study consciousness itself. For you as an athlete, this means you can use these techniques to toggle your state of consciousness, moving from a state of analytical conscious thought, which can sometimes lead to paralysis by analysis, into a state of intuitive automatic execution. So how do we turn this neuroscience into a performance edge? It starts by realizing that your brain doesn't always distinguish perfectly between vivid hypnotically induced imagery and actual physical reality. When you use hypnotic imagery, you are priming your motor cortex. You are rehearsing the movement, the timing, and the feeling of success at the neural level. When we talk about the hypnotic edge, we are talking about using these specific neurostates to reduce interference, quiet the prefrontal cortex chatter, that critical self-talk that makes you second-guess your form in the middle of a competition, enhance sensory absorption. As Nash points out, hypnosis allows for an altered state where you can amplify the sensory feedback of your sport, the sound of the air rifle, the feel of the club head, the tension in the muscle, giving you better data to correct and refine your performance in real time. I want you to take 5 minutes today to sit quietly. I don't want you to just think about your sport. I want you to engage your senses. Use your imagination to reconstruct a perfect moment of performance. See the environment, feel the equipment and notice the specific timing of the movement. According to Nash's research, this level of vivid, focused imagery is exactly how you start physically changing your brain's ability to execute. Tomorrow, we're going to pivot from the lab to the field, looking at how to maintain this focus while you're actually in motion, using the eyes open techniques of Lars Erik Unestal. Until then, keep training your mind to lead your body. And here's my coaching tip for today. When practicing your imagery, aim for first-person perspective. Research suggests that seeing the world through your own eyes, rather than watching yourself like a movie, increases the activation of the motor-related brain areas. Mindfully yours, Julie.